How high can Vechain go? Let's find out. It's 2021, and as we've all seen in the past year or so, the bull run has come into full force. Massive gains are being made all over the cryptocurrency space, and it doesn't seem likely that things are going to change anytime soon. All-time high after all-time high are being made in the crypto space, with Bitcoin just moving over 60k for the first time. With price targets between $100,000 and $500,000 later this year, it doesn't seem likely that this will end anytime soon. Ethereum is also moving up with recent news that their update to improve the scalability of their network has been confirmed and will start being rolled out across 2021. It doesn't seem likely that the bull run is done yet, and it's been estimated that judging by previous cycles, the bull run will likely continue till around September time, when a bear market will likely be triggered by parabolic market activity. Altcoins will most likely pump for another month or so after this, as money rotates out of Bitcoin for a final euphoric push to the upside before a bear market comes into full force. It's important to remember that smart investors will take profits on the way up and on the way down as their assets appreciate in value, in order to minimize the risk towards themselves in case the market turns against them quickly. In cryptocurrency, volatility is extremely high, which is why huge gains can be made. However, it's also important to remember that this can easily turn against investors as well. If August comes around and the market is still pumping, it may be time to consider taking some profits on cryptocurrencies, as peak euphoria may be extremely close. In this video, we'll be taking a look at Vechain and how high it can potentially go in the future. Make sure to watch the video till the end for all the essential information. This is not financial advice and is for entertainment purposes only. We always stress that you do your own due diligence. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. Vechain is one of the most incredible projects in the cryptocurrency space in terms of potential and use case. Vechain is targeting a real-world issue of supply chain management, which is becoming increasingly difficult to maintain and manage for companies as the world becomes more complex and complicated. The entire current world supply chain is valued at around $50 trillion, which is a huge market cap that Vechain is trying to target. If Vechain captures a good market share of their target market, they could easily pump massively in price very quickly as a network effect takes hold through large companies. The global supply chain is likely to increase in value by orders of magnitude in the future as the world economy booms, and we're already seeing huge growth. When you consider all the different components of the supply chain, including the goods themselves and the infrastructure that stores the goods in transition, there is a lot of utility that Vechain can provide and improve upon to maintain these systems. Vechain is a blockchain protocol which focuses on tracking of goods specifically, through the use of RFID technology. These infrared tags store information about goods on the Vechain network constantly, and then store the data immutably on the blockchain. This information has an unbelievable amount of use case for businesses and consumers alike, as being able to track goods and to have access to an abundance of information about them, down to the temperature of the room that they are stored in, gives an incredible use case for businesses and provides a utility that has not yet been seen. When you start to consider how useful this may be for businesses, them being able to constantly monitor their goods with an almost infallible record on the blockchain, along with monitoring the conditions that they may be stored in, the fact that the information is secure and extremely unlikely to be incorrect on the blockchain is a great utility for businesses alone, as there is no human error, but also gives far more than that to businesses. They can accurately track where their goods are at all times by using the blockchain, and this would likely have a massive selling point for Vechain going into the future. The conditions that goods are stored in is one of the biggest problems with goods being spoiled in transition, and through the use of Vechain, if there are any issues that arise in the supply chain, these could quickly be ironed out by businesses using Vechain. This is especially important with food, and could potentially save businesses millions of dollars by allowing them to monitor and improve their supply chains if necessary to increase their efficiency overall. When you consider all the potential and utility of Vechain, combined with the smart contract layer that the protocol also has, the potential becomes even greater. Smart contracts are essentially agreements that can be instantly executed when a certain requirement is fulfilled, such as a particular data is set on the blockchain. The smart contract layer can take a look at the information on the blockchain and execute smart contracts to trigger functions or payouts when certain things happen on the Vechain protocol. This could be extremely useful for automating payouts with other members of the supply chain. For example, when goods are delivered, a payment could instantly trigger. This can also go a step further when you consider that dApps or decentralized apps could also be built to a more sophisticated level of detail, allowing for functionality based on the information that is stored on the blockchain. One of the most obvious examples of this could be giving consumers the opportunity to view information about the products they buy and when they have come from, which provides an increased layer of trust between business and customer. This could be extremely useful in the instance of food, and could be the deciding factor between a Vechain and a non-Vechain restaurant if the consumer can see where the food is from. Other utilities using the smart contract layer could be including automatic vending to consumers through the use of supply chain tracking, where a smart contract could be executed a second a product comes into stock and instantly sent it to the consumer's house, all through the use of the blockchain's immutable records. These sort of incredible innovations could all be possible with Vechain, along with countless other possibilities that haven't been considered yet. The next logical step when you consider all this utility is that businesses and consumers may become preferential to companies that adopt Vechain over those who do not. This is because Vechain and its power can offer trustless solutions, which takes a lot of the guesswork out of interfacing with and working with other companies. This is useful for companies because it means that they can focus on more important things, rather than having to worry about other elements of the supply chain and various issues that can arise. The trustless systems really are an innovation that could radically change how companies do business with one another, and this is not only to do with businesses. Customers may even prefer Vechain businesses because it means that they can see the life cycle of the products that they are buying. This is incredibly useful for businesses and consumers alike, and it doesn't seem unlikely that as Vechain adoption grows, it could grow to become a trademark of trust between parties in the supply chain industry. The transparency that the blockchain provides is one of the greatest parts of cryptocurrency technology, combined with the immutable power of the blockchain. When you start to consider all of this utility for Vechain, you can get an idea of how successful it will be in the future. Vechain is a protocol that has the two key pillars we look for on this channel in abundance, which is use case and adoption. Use case is essentially what cryptocurrency is designed to do, or what problem it aims to solve. Having a clear use case is important so that it can receive effective adoption and actually solve a problem. Without a clear use case, it's unlikely that a cryptocurrency will succeed in the future. Vechain has no shortage of utility, and it's very obvious that it's trying to solve for an issue and improve an industry. A real-world use case is one of the most bullish elements a project in the cryptocurrency space can have, and Vechain is stood in great stead to be successful because of this. Adoption is also extremely important because without users using the network, the vast majority of price action for a project would be speculative retail investment alone. This is another example of how Vechain is thriving, and already has a massive amount of use and adoption all around the world from huge companies such as BMW. It's easy to imagine that as Vechain develops, it will continue to increase the number of clients using its protocol. As the network grows, the momentum of its adoption will likely continue to increase exponentially. This is known as a network effect, or Metcalfe's law. This essentially states that the value of a network is the number of participants squared, and is a great way to indicate that as Vechain gets more and more adoption from huge companies, the value of its protocol could increase exponentially as a result. When taking a look at all of this potential, you can get an idea of how high Vechain can go. This year, the psychological level of $1 per Vechain token seems entirely possible, which would be around a 15 to 20x from the current price. It's easy to imagine this considering we have not reached the parabolic part of the bull run yet, and with a protocol such as Vechain with such a huge amount of potential that is not yet pumped as at many other projects, it seems like more of a question of when than if, as to when we will start to move up a lot more in price. If Vechain reaches the $1 mark this year, it would have a market cap of around $60 to $70 billion, which seems entirely possible considering the sheer amount of money that will be flowing into the space in the upcoming bull run. It seems reasonable to expect that if Bitcoin goes between anywhere to $100,000 to $500,000 with a $3 to $7 trillion market cap, Vechain could easily reach a $50 billion market cap or more in the upcoming bull run, especially with the fundamentals we're likely to see later on. Beyond this, Vechain could easily reach $10 in a longer time frame if it continues to receive adoption for its use case, which could easily see it at around a $500 billion market cap. While this seems incredibly high currently, it's important to remember that in the next 5 to 10 years the cryptocurrency space as a whole could be worth in the region of $100 trillion as Bitcoin grows exponentially and brings the whole space with it. If that's the case, a market cap of $500 billion for Vechain is not out of the question. Beyond that, If Vechain reaches full adoption as the main supply chain tracking protocol by most top businesses in the world, the price could go up a lot further. So what do you think of Vechain? Does it have the potential to hit the heights that so many believe that it can? Drop a comment down below and share your price target for Vechain, along with the reasons behind it. We're always interested to know what you think. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, you can sign up to our Patreon via the link in the description below, where you can get access to our private Discord. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.